All right, we'll call this meeting to order. If you would, silence your phones, including myself, so we don't listen to it. And if we would, stand for a moment of silence for service folks and the people of Ukrainian, led by pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for showing up. We want to do roll call.
Sure do. Redline. Newcastle,
Here.
Kiesler. Judd. Here. Nichols.
Here.
Rotovac.
Here.
Culpepper.
All right. Floor is open for public comment. If we have anyone inside or outside on the computer. No public comment. Move on to approval of minutes. Approval of March 7th, 2022.
So moved.
Motion and second to approve the minutes of March 7th, 2022. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by likewise. Motion carried to approve the minutes, March 7th. Item number 2 is approval of March 28th, 2022, special city council meeting. Motion to approve the minutes.
A second.
Motion in 2 seconds. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor of approval of the special council meeting minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by aye. Motion carried. Treasurer's report for March 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by aye. Motion carried for March 22nd, March 2022 Treasury report. Excuse me. Items of business. Public hearing for proposed consumer energy franchise ordinance. Now, this is just a standard contract hearing for
We have a motion to open the public hearing.
I make a motion.
Second.
we have motion and a second to open the public hearing.
Yes, that's exactly what this is. But the one we have is 30 years old, and they sent this to us saying it needed to be updated because it would expire in July. And so I took the ordinance and compared it to what we have. And then our charter also has a list of, anytime you're going to enter into a franchise, there's a list of items that have to be in the agreement. And
Finance committee recommend,
Recommend to approve.
yes.
Okay, so this one we have a public meeting and next month we approve the vote to.
correct.
Correct. So right now it's for or opposition from public hearing for the Consumers Energy franchise. So and I don't hear any public comments of anyone here. So I would say that if there's nothing to be said, we should close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion and second to close the public hearing. And do we want to reschedule for, or schedule the acceptance for next council meeting?
It's on
Sorry,
it's
yeah.
on the agenda.
Okay. All right. Introduce the DDA ordinance language amendment and schedule a public hearing for that.
we're looking at next council meeting for that as well.
So the next council meeting would be the public hearing on the language that you were presented. Basically, we've already went through approving the plan. Everybody's on board with that. What this is updating the ordinance that says we're allowed to have a DDA, and that we've updated the plan, and that the city council approves of it. And so the language is real similar to what we already have.
All right, well then, we've got the public hearing scheduled for next month, I'm assuming.
I need a motion to
Okay.
schedule a public hearing.
I make a motion.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the DD ordinance language? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, too. I'm thinking.
Whenever we schedule a public hearing, you need a vote. Keith Castle,
Yes.
Judd,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Rohrbach,
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes. All right. Item number 6, introduce 2022 and 2023 preliminary budget. I see everybody's got their wish list out. Doing things. You see, I don't know if you looked at it, you have budget highlights, some of the expenses and things that the city has down, and staff and things they'd like to do, and so forth, and what's gonna be already approved, so. Do we have any questions or comments on filling in anything that needs to be added for, as you go into this?
Do we have any special software preventing hackers? Hackers and all that getting in and
I mean, we have a firewall and that kind of stuff. We have some security. We've never really had any major issues or anything, but we do have some stuff in place.
Didn't Dave just say, like, a
For the police
meeting or two,
department, yeah.
yeah, that they just had this huge thing, or he was getting it or something.
Dave,
Not Dave, sorry, the chief,
Dan,
Dan.
the other brother.
I mean,
Dan.
like each of the things that we do, I mean, we have a server, we have a firewall on the server, we have passwords, everything
Yeah.
is, encrypted. And we, our stuff for QBF is online through the state of Michigan. And all of that has their own, security measures in it. And the police, they have their security measures within their software. So does our BSNA software, you'd have to get in through our server and then get into BSNA with a password. So that's what we have.
So I would direct it, your question is do we have enough?
And I don't know how you ever know that.
And I don't either. As far as that goes.
I
I
mean,
don't think we're a large target or anything, but
We do,
they are going after smaller targets.
Well, and we do, I mean, we get emails that, are suspicious and things like that, and then we delete them or report them spam. And we talk about, how to be aware of those things in our office. So, I mean, a couple of weeks ago on payroll Monday, I got an email from Dave telling me to change his account number to send his paycheck to from him. I said, Dave, did you want me to change your account number? He goes, no, please don't. And I said, I didn't think that was from you, but I mean, you actually, you have to be alert and you have to watch those things, but we do get suspicious emails. And obviously if we, click on something suspicious, we could get some of those Trojan horses in our, system or whatever. Or, I mean, if you're online shopping and doing things you shouldn't be doing, you can get garbage on the computers, but I mean, we're all online,
All day
but-
long, basically.
Well, it's like me, I just got my credit card. I looked at my statement and I got a company on there, tactical something other. I haven't bought anything in quite a while. The only thing I have that I pay on that is my dish bill. Haven't used it in quite a while. I'm like, so I got hacked. So
And we
now
get-
I got disputed with a credit card
We
company.
just had a credit card that got hacked again and we just start over every
Yep.
time.
Yep, get a new card, get a new number. Blah, blah, blah.
So I mean, how we know whether we have enough or not, I don't know. I know we have some insurance for cyber crimes, cyber crimes. But I don't know, Dave.
Okay.
I mean, I really just don't know what else we would need to do.
I just brought it up because we were talking about it, the emergency services.
Yeah.
Getting some software out there to help protect. So.
I know we have some, so. If anybody has any great ideas, we're open to it. We just.
Comes to techie stuff, I have no idea. I'm out.
Neither do
I'm
I.
out.
Me too.
I got to jump for that.
We don't need to do anything with the budget at this time, right? Do we need to schedule a public hearing next for the budget?
It'd be a lot easier if we scheduled it now, because the next meeting doesn't give me a lot of time to get it in the paper. So we have to approve it by the third Monday in May. We meet May 4th. We can't approve the budget that night because we can't approve the budget the same night.
As we approve it.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, we have to have a public hearing on it.
Right.
So we'll have the public hearing on, we have to have a motion to have a public hearing on the next meeting. And then we need to schedule a special meeting to approve the budget.
Okay, so we need a motion now. to Go ahead.
I make a motion.
Yeah, I second that. For the
Get it
public
You're
rolling.
quicker than me.
Get it rolling. I'm looking right at you. Get it rolling.
You got it.
Okay, we have a motion to introduce. Schedule the public hearing, excuse me, for the 22-23 budget.
Yep.
Which would be a special meeting.
No, it'll be at our regular
Oh,
meeting.
okay.
We
The
need
special
a
meeting will be
special
after.
meeting after that, and I don't know if you guys want to schedule it or wait till everybody's here on that.
I would rather wait till. it's
I
here.
think that because we have so many people missing, normally we
Right.
try to get that, so everybody knows when it is, but
Right.
we have to approve it by the 16th, which is the third Monday. of May. So anytime after the public hearing, we can schedule a new meeting to approve the budget.
We usually do that, a 5-minute meeting.
Yeah, it's quick, usually real quick, unless there's something going on, but normally it's pretty quick.
No, Dave's got a lot of stuff on here to look over.
And remember this, we don't have to fund everything that we request. So if you approve it as is, then you are approving that, we can go out and buy the things that we're suggesting in there. Like I said to the finance, we want to replace this door, not we want to, we have to replace that door. But we don't have to add the ADA, and we would like to add the ADA. It's quite expensive to do that, and the budget is moving that sound system over here. That's a $10,000 bill.
That one's like,
I mean, but
How are they gonna do that?
so we would move the sound rack over here, and then we have to bore under.
More under the
You
street?
have
and
Dave's one.
tear up
done
the
the
parking
sound
lot?
rack.
Would be over here, they would put a
Repeat.
wireless antenna on top of the bell tower that would talk to that one. But
Okay.
as far as getting the speakers, they have to bore from here to where the speakers are at the park. Right now, they started the library from this way around. and
Don't they have a
to bore up-
box? Don't they have a ground box outside of the library?
That's just where the wires come out.
Okay.
That's the wires come out and then they go down Grand River, down Roosevelt, rolling up to the park.
Anything else on that subject? So we have the public hearing scheduled for next council meeting. Then we'll arrange for a special meeting after that.
Did we do roll call on that?
mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
On what?
Another scheduling of the public hearing.
No,
Sorry, I just noticed. I'm like, nope, we didn't do that roll call yet.
no, we were in discussion.
Okay, good.
So now we need to do roll call, right? for that?
Yep.
Okay.
To
so-
Castle,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, approval of payment plan for 919 Doyle Road, which is a sewer connection.
So the apartments hooked into the city sewer, they have always had a private sanitary system.
We're talking out here at the corner, basically.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the bill is $20,000. And so he asked if he could pay it over 18 months. And so I was looking to the city council. for approval to-
Finance.
And finance
Yeah,
recommends.
We recommend just to go with it.
To enter into an agreement
Seems fair.
to collect his money over 18 months.
Do we get any interest?
You can ask.
I mean, we'll get money in the long run with it.
Yeah,
So,
well,
better than none at all from.
you start something and you have to keep going.
I mean, I said, like, we don't.
I don't-
wanna
I don't
put
know
them out
that
of a business
whenever
and housing, so.
The sewer originally went in, I think they just put it as a special assessment. And it was just straight up the cost, what I think it was.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
cost all of us, I think, that was getting it at the time, $600.
So,
And
and
that
now,
was hooked up to your house.
yeah, now it's 2,500.
Right, I understand that.
And there's
Well,
8 units out there.
When I went to
so-
school, carton of milk was 5 cents. Now I bet you can't buy one for $1 now, so.
And then it'll be $600 a month while they're hooked up. So,
So we need a motion.
I make a motion.
We have a motion and support to approve the payment plan for 919 Doyle Road. It's a sewer connection over 18 months. Any discussion more?
Hugh Castle,
Yes.
Judd,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Rotovic,
Yes.
Yes. Movies in the park.
we have still been working to try and find a group. It kind of sounds like might have a couple of sports groups interested. So we're seeing if we can get one of them to manage it. But we're kind of looking at how we're gonna proceed. We want to make sure they do the whole summer and not just say like, I'll just do one movie for $200 or whatever. We want somebody to take it on for the whole summer. So we're kind of looking at maybe like $200 a movie or like $1,000 for the summer, $1,200 for the summer if they do 6 movies. Or $200 a movie, but you have to do all the movies in order to get your payment at the end. Something, I mean, we haven't really determined it, but does that seem reasonable? I mean, because last
It
month,
does to me.
and then we'll buy the concessions, they can sell them and give us the money. I just don't know if it would be right for us to buy the concessions and let them collect the money and that.
I mean, I think it should go into the fund and then we just pay them. from
That's what,
that
I think
fund.
that's the cleanest way to do it, is to pay
Yeah.
them $200 per movie.
Then the things aren't being accounted for.
Yeah,
There's
that way
this
we
and
can,
that.
you know, so we're selling the concessions and we're taking that money back in to cover our expense.
Right.
That way you can keep track of stuff better too.
Yeah. And then we may make money or may lose money on a movie based on that, but that's kind of what we're thinking right now.
I think as a mom, I think it's with a 12-year-old son, I love the movies in the dark. So.
Well,
I'm
and,
all
you
for it,
know,
and I think I would definitely.
When we brought it up to these kids, most of the kids are kind of like, oh yeah, I can remember going to movies in the park. And so it'll give them buy-in. It gives them, you know, pride in the park. And, you know, a lot of these kids, their teams need money for certain things or trips or
Right.
whatever. And so we kind of feel like it's the way to go.
They're willing to do it. I'm all for them. Go.
So that's what we're thinking. Other thoughts? We don't really have like a written anything. We just have kind of been making,
Ideas.
we just been making some contacts and I wanted to run by the 200 just to see if that was reasonable.
Well, my opinion is last meeting, we made statements that we were gonna keep the movies going no matter what. So I feel that we should actually give staff the ability to move forward with it and even give the $200 a night if they do all the things.
Have to
Put some
commit to the
stipulations in
6 or
here so
whatever.
we're covered.
I mean, if a movie gets canceled or whatever, I don't think we should pay them, you know?
Right,
So,
if it gets rained out. oh,
But not
well.
cancel because they don't feel like coming to do it.
Right.
Cancel for
Or I wanna
rain
go on vacation, you better have your
Right.
vacations cleared up, if you're gonna do this, you know.
Yeah, I like the idea of having a clause for the rain day. I remember back when we were playing rock and roll for, the school dances. We got 2 different snowstorms. We got paid because we had a contract and we didn't play.
Right.
So I like the idea, cancel it if it rains, you don't get paid on it.
The cancellation date is no pay. If you cancel it, it's no pay, and you don't get the full payment at the end of the month, or at the end of the season.
What are we gonna do if they cancel it? We gotta back up.
Well, if it's
plan.
a sports thing, I mean, they should have enough people within the sports groups.
yeah, I think we're gonna
To
make sure that
account.
we have a group that wants to and is, we're gonna have an adult that commits.
It's not
to-
just gonna be one person, it's gonna be a large
Right.
group of people.
So
that
we're gonna hope to have
collaborate.
a group that commits to it, so,
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we're working.
and they can choose if the funding goes towards soccer, whatever.
Right,
Whatever the group is probably where to go to in some ways, you know.
so that's what we're looking at.
I myself, I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
And if they want to do it, though, I think we should put stipulations on it so that we cover our back.
Agreed.
Because that's the
We'll
first thing
work
that
on that
happens.
once we
Somebody
get a
starts
group
canceling
that-
on us, we're in trouble.
I just wanted to make sure we were going down the right path.
Yeah, you are.
I might try band boosters too, they might be interested.
Yep, we're reaching out to groups and hoping somebody wants.
Or your senior class, 'cause I know ours didn't have crap for money, so I don't remember us doing anything to make money.
Now, see, a lot of classes, like you say, they don't even think about stuff like that, but you take $1,200 and you put in your class treasurer, you can go a long ways on $1,200.
No,
You know, I was a senior in high school, I worked for Dennis Trailer Sales, putting on hitches. He said, what? Why don't your class raffle a camper trailer off? And I said, well, we ain't got any money and so forth. He says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll front you the trailer. You can sell raffle tickets and you can haul it all over to these malls and stuff. And that's what we did. And we made 20 grand.
Well,
We went to Florida and they gave us $200 a piece when we got,
Huh.
so we did well by doing something like that. But well, heck, we went all over the place to malls and showed it at the
Right.
malls and stuff. But this is a good gig for somebody to take in some money for the summer, for sure. All right. We're down to item number 10, which is approval to pay the bills.
I make a motion, there's definitely a lot of them in there.
Yeah, I second that.
Motion to pay the bills in a second. Any other discussion?
Newcastle,
Yes.
Judd,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes,
Roseback,
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes. Motion carried to pay bills. Finance meeting is stop on committee reports.
You want, well, okay, I took some notes. The city has some city-owned property that they would like to have surveyed. And it was brought to the attention of the finance committee. And we approved it, and we would like approval of city council. And now these are properties that prospective buyers are looking at, so before they can buy them, they do need to be surveyed. So to
City
speed,
property?
yes.
Okay.
Which properties are there?
Treat
Republican.
Street and
Yep.
the
Old elevator.
old elevator.
And to expedite it, if somebody wants to buy it, we do need to have the surveys done, so we recommend it to council, that council should approve the survey.
Do we know the cost?
It's
Approximately?
usually a couple grand, the survey, probably.
Okay.
I mean,
per
even
survey.
even if we just wanted to build on it, would still be good to have a survey. I mean, it's something.
Treat Street Park, we've had a couple of questions on, when we had to try to locate, who owned a tree up there, whether it was ours or the property owners, and so we've had some issues with that park as it is, but I do have someone, looking at it for, building purposes. And I know the city has talked about, doing something with that park.
Yeah, wasn't there something on the master plan with that park?
Yeah, we talked, in the master plan, we've talked about some things, but we've also updated some other plans, and the council has approved like a residential plan for their future building sites. So I guess that's the thing is that if you guys don't want to sell it and don't want to, or don't want to have it used for building houses or apartments or whatever.
I got the neighbor next, right next door that wants to buy it. She's very interested in it. I knew that a while ago, something was said to me about it.
And she's not the.
Myra,
She's not. the-
right, but she's the landowner next door. Maybe she wanted a little more property too. I don't know if she still wants something next door or what, but
I think we want to sell it for only development purposes. I
Right.
mean, I don't think we just want to sell it to sit there. We want, the
Yeah,
city would
make
want
tax money.
it
off
to be
it.
built on.
Well, I
that's
don't
what
think
makes
the city
sense.
want, I don't think the city should give it away either, so
No.
that's the other side,
Right.
see, is a builder's gonna come in and make it reasonable.
But even if a builder didn't pay us like face value for whatever that piece of property is worth, they build a couple $100,000 house on there, or
You
they
get the
build,
taxes.
or they build 4 duplexes on there, or
Right.
whatever. I don't even know what'll fit, but I think that was when you guys drew up that plan. It's on our website that we're seeking development for it.
Well, my recommendation coming from finance on survey is anytime the city buys any property, they should be surveyed.
And we don't have surveys of either of those properties.
Yeah, I think they should.
I mean, we can't buy property without surveys, and
No.
if you do, you find out pretty soon that you did something wrong.
I mean,
Yeah.
before we know whether we can do anything with either of these, I think they have to be surveyed.
No, it's a good idea to survey them. I'm just curious.
And I do have
Is there
to,
any users of the park anymore? Is there any groups using it, or are we just?
We're
mowing
just
it?
mowing
We
it.
mow it. And at one point, we were the trail system or something, we talked about.
well, we would have to
possibly-
get another piece of property from somebody else, but we went around instead. The sidewalk goes out
Okay,
down Woodbury Road.
so that's no point anyway.
But we do have it's on our website if you want to see what you guys have approved.
Well, I would make
I
a
just
motion
don't
to,
remember it, so I must have missed that meeting. or
Maybe, I mean, there's a whole development plan out there for several sites that the city owns.
but not the one by the bank or the drugstore right now, no one's looking at that.
No, we haven't had
something. Yeah,
any.
I've seen the ones for down here at the elevator. I've seen some of that. and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep,
A couple other ones. I
I've
just
got
don't
somebody
remember.
else, I got another call this week about it, and they got a call about Tree Street Park from the developer.
Hmm.
So
Well, I'd rather turn it into tax money.
I got a developer that wants to build houses in Langford, so people got property they want built on. He says they're
I know there's a
building,
big chunk
he says they're
right in the
building,
heart of the city.
he says they're building like crazy over in Peary, and they'd like to build a little closer to home.
I like to see.
I'm just gonna
down
send
the
them on
street
down to my
and-
property.
I like to sit right over here.
Yeah.
Been thinking
I
about
don't know
it
if they can
anyway.
sell it, but
There you
they
go.
might.
But it's expensive.
We'd make it
But anyway,
great.
I'll make the motion
Single
that
story.
we, in the future and at this point in time, that any new properties we buy, we just automatically.
And it blend in with the rest of the
I agree.
subdivisions over there too.
It should just be a mandatory type thing.
So we have a motion and a second.
We've
Any other
discussed it.
discussion? And due to the fact we know it's gonna cost more than $500, I'll definitely take a roll call. Of course, you wouldn't tell me that anyway.
I Newcastle,
Yes.
Judd,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Rhoda
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried.
Okay, second action item we had from finance meeting today, and it's just for everybody's education and education. Marijuana revenue for the year, the city made roughly $56,000 from the state.
Oh,
I wondered about that.
So, and it's 56 per dispensary. Since we have one dispensary, we got $56,000.
So we need another dispensary and kick it up.
Right.
Well, if we have more than one dispensary, we get 56,000 per dispensary.
You know, we'll see what happens.
Calcasas, as Paula mentioned, with 7 dispensaries, got 7 times 56.
Wonderful.
Too bad we don't get that for dollar stores.
Yeah,
So,
well, the taxpayers' dollar can go a lot farther with another store if that's what they chose, because you're talking.
yes,
You're never guaranteed now, you have to understand that. It
Right.
doesn't guarantee it's gonna keep going
Right.
up,
no,
Yeah.
but
last year
at this
was
point, it
20,
was 29 or something like
Last,
that.
last year was 23 or 28 per. But we weren't in then. We
Right.
didn't have an operating open one when they did that, so.
but
But
Just
it
so
doubled.
everybody knows, so that you're educated, if somebody were to ask you,
Mhm.
you would know. It was $56,000.
I keep wondering about the one downtown, the one that wants to come in, are they selling the same type of products or are they different? You know, this one that baked
They never
goods,
had an opportunity to allow us to see.
and,
They-
Well, we're gonna let the people
permit
decide.
they were
Yeah,
asking
they
for
have
was
to.
to sell
That's
the
true.
same type of product. But they never got the opportunity.
Well,
But
let's
this is-
see what
This is
happens.
the opportunity that people need to be able to talk about the situation with some
Yes.
basis on. Do you
It's bringing
want
it's bringing money from the
$56,000
state
possibly
into,
every year extra on top of a second store? Or do you want to just set where you're at and you may go down? You never know.
I'll be curious if the vote's gonna, the people out, you know, will be heard in the city when it comes voting time.
well, you guys all know how I stand. I put the motion, they have another dispensary in town. They have more than one, so I'm all in agreement that we should have
Economically,
more, because that's more money coming in from the state and it's more business coming to town.
Yep.
But
Yeah, but you know what they're
that is my
saying.
humble opinion.
Don't get their attorney
So-
involved.
So as the finance, sorry, we were talking about what we were gonna do with the money. We decided to sit on it.
Just put it in the general
Just put it
fund
in
for
the
right
general fund
now.
and sit on it for right now, instead of putting it directly towards something.
Well,
If
some
an
people are gonna
emergency
wonder where's that
comes
money
up.
going to, so they'll be
She's
asking
already
that.
got calls
I'm
asking
sure,
her.
I'm sure.
But she can just say it's in general fund. That way the city doesn't have to come to council every time something were to happen and they were to need the money to pay for it. It's in general fund. They can use it. They can pay the bill. They don't have to come, you know. It makes it easier for the city to pay the bills.
It's easier to chop it up as you go too, than you know,
Yeah.
trying to make a
And just,
one-time decision, let's say, or
Yeah.
two-time decision.
I know
and
we
if
thought of
something
like 10
happens-
different things. We're like, let's just put it in there and
Yeah.
just let it be.
if that is agreeable with the rest of council.
Yes. That's our recommendation.
Cause you know, people are gonna be saying, why aren't my taxes lower? Why am I still paying out that butt? We were getting all this money. I could hear it now.
Well,
You know, that's gonna come out.
for the last
That's
20
why you're
years,
getting calls.
taxes has not went up.
Right.
And now, this, to me, this is what I tell people and will tell, is now we have an opportunity to actually get back some of that money to do some more improvements for this community. Now, for us to say to lower your taxes, what good is that
Right.
gonna do?
I know. They'll never go down.
there's always so much that you can do.
Well,
with
you
that
need to look
money.
at the list of accomplishments.
Right.
That is in your
But
budget.
people don't see that though.
I know, but it's in there, it's online, and you can show it to them, you can tell them about it.
I'm gonna tell them, get online, check it out. They need to get more
Well, we have
informed
it
on
in our
coming and stuff.
packet. There's a bullet
Right,
point
but
list.
there's a
that-
I know,
whole
I
list
see
of
that. I know, I've seen
accomplishments,
that.
and I-
She's
I know what
like,
to
I
tell
know,
me, what I'm
she's-
telling you
yeah,
is,
she's
what you got
saying-
other people, she's getting phone calls. You're gonna hear it from other people, because they don't read that stuff. They don't get
Yeah,
online, they
she's
don't show
saying
up to
they need to
meetings,
go do it. They
but
need to go
they'll
check it out.
complain. Where's that money going? I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
Maybe-
there's a
Yeah.
you
lot.
know where I'm
they-
coming from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know where our stuff is. It's here. I get to see it.
There's a lot of people that assume a lot of things.
Right, they
and
don't read, they
know.
only read the newspaper. So,
Well, one thing about people that assume everything, they're gonna assume whatever you tell them. It doesn't matter, they're not gonna do it.
I tell them, come to the meetings.
So
Well,
in
that's the
our-
best way.
In our website, we have a little page that lists your accomplishments in
This
the last
budget's
20
out
years.
there.
It's
Well,
in
I
there,
know,
it's
but
in
then
there.
You gotta get 'em to
read
look
through
at it,
each one.
Yeah, it's got the list in
I
there.
wonder, there's a list online that tells you the accomplishments for the last 20 years or?
Well, I don't have 20 years on there, I've got about 10. Every year I kind of, well, we could probably go
She
back
puts some
20,
on and takes them off.
but, yeah. I tried
When
to,
was the park built? How long ago was that?
2006 and 7.
So you start back in that time there and just show the accomplishments that's taking place in that
The
period.
problem is you gotta get them online to look at it. A lot of people don't get online. They
It's all
don't read
there,
it.
yeah. you
They
just
don't
gotta
read it,
get
the
'em to
paper, no
look.
nothing.
Well, folks, it's the
They're
same
not getting
thing
involved.
with somebody that's not a registered voter.
Right.
They'll sit and tell you what you're doing wrong
Oh, I
and
know.
why you're doing it wrong. But then when you ask them about, what did you go down and vote? I don't vote.
Right,
I'm not
No, they live
registered."
out on
It's
Lake
like, then
Victoria.
shut up.
right.
You know, we get a lot of compliments in our office. We get a lot of, the city's doing great things, the city's doing, you know, keep up the good work. So, you know,
It's
one or
just
two
like that,
people who come in and
2011.
say, hey, why haven't you fixed that pothole? You know, we didn't.
Right.
know,
The
you know.
big list.
So
I know.
this
You'll get 'em.
council has done a lot of work on the roads, the parks, and I think that, you know, our city shows it, so.
I would say that this city has seen more improvement in the last 15 years than it's ever seen in its life.
Well, I'd like to invite anybody that has problems with the city and what's going on. I'd like to invite them here to
Oh, yeah.
tell us about it. Ask questions, bring in their,
Problem is,
wishes
they
and
won't do
their
that.
problems.
They won't do that. They'll be on the outside doing that though, and they'll get everything stirred up. With other people that are non-city residents and whatnot, and then we have that going on out there, but you can't ever make everybody happy.
You can't.
At
No.
least you're letting them know right now.
Where are they at? They're not online. I don't see anybody online.
You're right up there with that. red
The only
dot.
person watching is Jim.
Oh.
Okay,
we doing, Jim?
is finance set?
I
I think
think
so.
that's about it.
Yeah, I think.
What about the health insurance? I'm just asking. This says the finance committee will make a recommendation of approval of renewal.
We did that
That was
last.
last
Okay,
month.
that's the minutes, okay.
Yep.
Do we want to discuss this letter from pickleball courts or whatever? I mean, you guys been looking at this stuff?
I sent it to you.
Dave?
We looked at it, I've
Yeah,
got some
we looked
prices
at it.
around, I think we got some within the budget, on the cost of the nets and. We've already planned, I mean, I gotta do some resurfacing.
I don't know.
It's like that
Okay, well, I just
ouchie ball.
got the letter and I didn't-
Yeah,
I seen the
Yeah.
stuff, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, so
The
that's all.
letter was just something that was sent to us, it was stuff that we'd already been looking at, Paul and I'd already been talking about it.
I don't even know what pickleball
I
is.
don't either.
None of us do.
Well, it's online, I had to. look it up.
Well, I probably will too, so I'm not ignorant any
Well,
farther than now.
tennis
But
slash
it looks like,
pickleball.
it
So
looks
it's
like you play tennis with a wiffle ball on a smaller court and like a badminton racket or something, what it looks like.
you toss.
I don't know what it
pickles.
is either, just from seeing like a picture.
There's no actual.
It's like you're
Wow.
using a
You
badminton
get
racket to
yourself
get a
in a
wiffle
pickle.
ball and God only knows that's what that.
Okay.
Oh,
Need a
okay.
tether ball out down there, a couple
Yeah,
of them.
tellers.
We will not be able to accommodate the request to move the tennis courts
No,
the
No,
other direction.
Hmm.
And they're the
Interesting.
complete opposite direction they were up here, and up here, everyone complained the sun was in their eyes, so.
Mm,
they run north-south down there, right?
This way, yeah.
Well, they were,
North-south, you shouldn't have any issues with
Yeah.
the sun.
well, north and south is a little bit weird around here.
But still, I mean, that's why they make visors.
I don't know what to tell
I
you.
used to, I used to play ball down there in the old ball field. In the evenings,
Oh, yeah,
it would be coming out of
there.
the west. But yeah, I don't know. I played a lot of ball down there without hats on and stuff. I did quite well. Was
Well, if you look at the amphitheater and everyone's complaining about the sun coming into the amphitheater's like, well, the tennis courts are this way, so I mean,
Huh.
either way, we're not moving them, I don't think,
No,
so.
Not moving the
No.
amphitheater, we're not moving the tennis court.
Yeah.
Wear sunglasses if they have issues with the sun
Hmm.
coming in.
well, just getting something done with a cord and setting it up and stuff is a good start of an accomplishment for a request of community that they'd like to see happen. Well, he'd already been considering, I guess there's not.
We already painted them years ago, right?
Correct, and they just need to be repainted. But one of the things we was looking at was a portable pickleball. net. They could check out.
It does sound funny.
Yeah. It's not something you want to leave down there, it'd be something they have to come up and check out.
Can I Google this?
a portable pickle net.
I'm
Pickleball
Googling it, just so you
net.
guys know.
Down in the old pickle factory.
So where would you place this pickleball or pickleball? thing?
Dill or sweet?
It goes right on the tennis court. The tennis court has already got, there's white lines for tennis and there's blue lines drawn out for pickleball.
Huh, gotcha, interesting.
It's like ping pong, but giant.
Okay,
Okay.
so you lobby over with a wiffle ball with a
Yeah.
racket.
That's what I'm getting just by the
Might as well just play
pictures.
tennis, right?
But you have the little paddles
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Like
not a
ping pong
badminton
paddles.
racket.
with a
Yeah.
pickleball that looks like a pickle.
really? Interesting.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at pictures, I'm not reading stuff. Sorry, I'm Googling here, okay.
Oh,
Done.
interesting.
All right, emergency services,
Don't have anything. to read.
okay,
Looks like they had quite a big run on last week.
I haven't got it yet until this next meeting though.
Oh,
So,
it was a big fire. Right, nothing.
yeah, there's a few of them.
I got pictures
seen
on my
Lake
phone.
Victoria Out there, house burned. and-
Yeah, well, it was next to my cousin's house and they were kind of not too, far apart. The way that wind was whipping.
Looked
I'm
like,
surprised it didn't
the
take
house
his
next
house.
Door
Yeah.
got some melted siding and stuff.
He said he didn't, my cousin.
Well, that's
I
good.
thought that's where I seen it, yeah.
It went down a lot.
Well, that wind was just,
I was surprised at how much there wasn't left.
yeah. Well, then it sounded like people were home and they got out.
Yeah, they all got out, but yeah.
they've been busy, that's for sure.
Like, holy crap.
We'll get
Seemed like a
caught
lot
up
of fires
next month.
lately.
Planning commission,
We had the public hearing for the grant application for river access. There was really nothing for that. And then we had the public hearing for expert lawn and care, and there was a couple things with that. We weren't sure. I don't know how to go on this. We weren't sure if he had the right permits or this and that, and it was also a yearly review, like just to check it out. So we're gonna have to revisit that situation next time, I believe.
yeah, next month.
Yeah,
It boiled down to the question, if I understood it right, is there's an apartment upstairs that's not finished.
and should he be working out
Is
of
this
the
the-
building?
Is
We're
this
not,
the
we weren't sure.
Quonset type building down
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, we weren't sure if he had the right permits and if he should be
Well,
running his
first off-
business out of it, and he wasn't sure if he had them, and so we said, you need to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, first off, he started building the apartment upstairs with no permits at all. And there was no permits, and I seen TGI's going in there for,
And he
building
was,
new floors.
and we discussed parking.
Yeah.
He was parking on the outside where we said don't park, he's parking in the road.
So you're gonna have
He's
gasoline
driving.
underneath in there too.
He's driving over the curbs, and there was a lot of little things that we discussed, but
Well, the bottom line of it is, as Dean was saying, is they're on a special land use for,
Yeah.
for 1 year, the review come up. And actually, unfortunately, at this time, they're kind of on the brakes.
Well, and
Yeah.
in looking at it, that parking lot was never big enough for what he had because he sold his other place
got
up
it
down
so
the street. So everything now is parked there and it's like, it's a mess.
It's a lot fuller than ever expected, I think. but
it
it's
does
there.
look nice, just a quick, he did good at what he did, but there's definitely lots of little things that need to be fixed or addressed or whatever, so.
But we did address the parking, and he has to get it straightened out with the county on his building permit, because we don't know if he
Yeah,
can
that was a
occupy
whole
the bottom
mess.
part
Hmm.
and not the front.
Like,
and-
can he be running his business out of it right now? We don't know.
Right.
He
Hmm.
didn't know. I mean, he thought, yes, but we didn't know.
Hmm.
And then we just went over, I went through 8 different training classes for planning and zoning, that kind of stuff. So that's what I did in March. It was,
All you did.
I did, yeah, I did a lot of learning, a lot of stuff. So, yeah. And then that was about it.
All right. Thank you. DPW,
DPW, there were no action items for council, but we're working on the budget. If you want to run through everything real quickly, what you guys are doing on the list, because it was city parks, space playground, 2 of the 3 pieces have arrived. You're still waiting on the 3rd. Sealing the tennis courts, so that way they can play pickleball.
Ping pong.
Yes, path prices, getting a quote. Lagoon discharge, Nick is testing, planning to get the phosphorus levels down. Spring cleanup has begun. And there will be a meeting on April 8th at 1 o'clock to discuss Looking Glass Terrace road repairs. and to let them know that they're gonna have to pay part of it too. For the meeting, I will be there, Paula will be there, Dave will be there, and Jane Crawford of Looking Glass Terrace.
And C2A.
And I'm sorry, and I forgot
And our
C2A. And that's about it for DPW.
Thank you.
So with that being said, with Looking Glass Terrace, so was that was just originally what, privately owned, so it wasn't like, we didn't consider that like a main road for like our plows, or did we used to plow that still?
We still,
just-
we plow it. It's in
Okay.
our road system.
Okay, I didn't know if it was or
The
not,
parking lot's not. but the
Okay.
Road is.
because they pay for the parking, right?
Right.
Okay,
It's 631 Grand River, but it's Crescent Drive.
okay, got you.
But the price is really big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than what people have anticipated. It's an eye
Over
opener.
200,000 to do that,
Wow.
our share. Right? Our share
Oh,
was
so that's
over
only partial?
That was,
Yeah.
that
That
been our
was-
share.
This is a complete tear out.
Well, there was only about 50,000 between a mill and fill and a reconstruct.
And if you question why, drive through it.
And I did, I drove out there, and you drive through it looking at whether it needs to be fixed or not, and what you think it might cost. Because like, when you first drive in, and then you got the big circle in the back, that's not that bad back there, but you can't not do that, so.
So it's gonna cost them a
The
chunk of
same.
money, and it's gonna cost us.
And
a
they're on
$200,000.
a pilot through the state of Michigan, so they don't pay the full property tax out there, it comes from the state.
Hmm.
So we had about,
Is there any state money to help pay for this?
I never heard of any yet.
Infrastructure or anything like, probably nothing there, is there? I mean, I know they've been talking about, I don't
Get some
know.
COVID money for it, maybe.
Yeah,
Has
there's a lot
anybody
of that
seen
going
any
around.
money that they talked about?
Yeah, we got
Did
one.
we, I can remember what we had got it. or not.
We should get our second payment pretty soon. You guys just haven't figured out what we're gonna do with it yet.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna get told what to do with it.
It's 128,000.
It sounds like it's gonna be paving some
Yeah.
roadway.
That's what I was just thinking.
Is that your priority?
No,
Just because they need it or want it doesn't mean they have to do it right now.
Let the budget up.
Right.
Well, that's what we gotta figure out.
And
Right.
they have to budget it too.
Yep. Yeah, cause I mean, they might not just have that laying around, it might take them a little bit to
Yeah.
budget too as well.
So
if that grant is approved for the boat launch, what is our portion of that?
100,000.
I think the meeting and the talk and so forth will give us more information of where they're at. And they may not even be able to help at all. You never know. So we'll let the meeting take place the way it is scheduled and see what falls then, and then the report can go back to what costs and what.
Then we'll come back to council after we talk with them on the 8th.
So
And
you
then-
guys will be the link that, really gets the information, so. DDA, I guess I'll cover that pretty much. We gave out 4 grants, I believe it was. They're listed here for improvements. You got clots. We felt that they want to do some brick tucking, replace the main windows down on the bottom floor, especially in the front windows and stuff. And the DDA felt, well, or my feeling was, it's building in our city, it's downtown. We're trying to sell it. Yes, I understand that, but we're
It's still
beautifying
gonna
our
be there.
downtown. So, that was
Yeah.
and so we approved that. And then, this house up here, Jack Schaefer, which is, Kindergarten's old house. We're going to give them a grant to help side the house.
That
And,
needs some love.
yeah,
He's giving it some love.
yeah, it's starting to look.
What's he doing with that
like-
house? He gonna sell it or is he gonna run it or what's he doing with
They're
that?
gonna live there.
Oh, you gonna live there?
Probably gonna flip it, live there for a while and then maybe,
Oh.
he's young, so we'll probably do it again.
Huh.
Yeah, and that was also, I considered that as, well, if somebody's just building it to flip it, we're helping, but we're
Right.
not, we're just cutting a bill for them.
Yeah, they got 2 kids and
So,
So are they, with that money being said, so being granted, is he having to pay any money back? Being a grant, no?
no, this is a program the DDA started years
Okay.
ago where we budget every year for 20, well, some years we go down, but it's been $20,000 on an average. And we pay a maximum of 70% up to $5,000 on any repairs, and they have to be done at a certain time and inspected. We don't do roofs, siding, construction stuff. You got the house down on the corner by me, right on the corner of West Street. They were approved for a white picket fence to put up around the property because they coming into town, you get greeted with a pretty new fence and stuff. You know. So that's what we did. We have one on the table. That was it. That was turned in late. We're going to address that this next month at the DDA meeting.
So basically, this is just sprucing up whatever on, house wise or whatever on Main Street.
Right, it's a DDA district and they put
Okay.
that money in to keep it up and keep it good looking and try to help people that may not be able to keep up with that.
Because like, they didn't get a grant for that old church, did they? They're putting them apartments in?
No.
I was gonna say they're doing good. I mean, it looks nice so far. I didn't know if they were doing some kind of grant, but I don't remember hearing.
Well, the last I knew they weren't gonna do it.
I remember him saying, well,
That
we
parking
can't
lot
do that,
back
we're
there's
not doing
got
it.
10 cars in it half the time.
Because they're putting new windows and everything in there. I mean, you can see where
Right
they're,
now, they're remodeling it, but
Hmm.
I think they're trying to do a duplex now, but that has to come back for a
Yeah.
duplex because it's not zoned for that.
Well, the guy's trying to do his own thing, I guess, and it's not gonna be all the same.
gotcha.
All right, let's see what else we got. DDA did sponsor movies in the park. That's how committed they were to the movies in the park. They put forth the bill. They'll pay the bill if we don't get any other sponsors that want to do anything, and we knew that it might be hard. But they seem to jump out and want to do that. They seem to get them, but we've reserved about $3,000 towards the movies. And if we get sponsors, we'll just, that money will go against ours, basically to say and pay for that movie, and we'll get the reduction, the DDA will, so.
What about advertising local businesses, if the DDA is paying the money anyway? Try to advertise local businesses to help boost them and create more work for them, more income.
More revenue.
More revenue.
I'm supposed to do that.
Anybody that wants to advertise this year because the DDA is picking up the bill.
Well, you missed what I
How do they
said.
advertise?
What if the DDA gets 6 other sponsors to pay the bill and they're all
Okay.
businesses?
All
See,
right, yeah.
that's where the point comes in, because, and I'm speaking out of turn, because Paula would be able to tell you better, but I know that in most of these cases, these people, they coming in and they're running the movies and doing whatever. And it's their business that gets the advertisement for that night because they sponsored the movie.
Yep.
That's my understanding. Is that correct, Paula?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one thing they could do possibly, and Greg or Scott Tyler works for a print company, and he might be like, if you get a bunch of sponsors like that, you could have a banner made up. Hey, these movies are, because of these sponsored by these businesses, and have them all on a
Yeah.
banner of
something.
some sort or something cool. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
Well, there are, but we'll let the staff continue to plug away with what they've got going and not change something, because we don't have time for changes. right
Maybe
now.
next year or something.
Yeah, well,
Ideas.
we're gonna grow the movies in the park
Right.
to the way we like it, the same way with this audio system. We've had a lot of problems getting it to play. The whole idea is to have music on the streets during the daytime to draw people in. People don't think they should have to do it. So we're gonna get it over here so we can control
Right. Gotcha.
it. Last thing I see is the grand opening invitation.
Oh, we missed the public library minutes.
Well, no one's here for
Oh,
that.
I got you. Alrighty.
Greater Lansing, Langsberg Recyclers elected by the Langsberg City Council, Downtown Development and the Planning Commission and the DPW, the grand opening of river cutting ceremony at the recycling center on April 24th at 2 to 4 p.m.
It's a Sunday.
Oh, good. It's not during the week.
Right?
I just throw it out there.
It's after church, 2
I
to
just wrote
4.
it
There
down.
you go. And you're gonna serve food, just like you get dinner after church.
Bring our recycling down and be the first to put it in.
Yeah, you all set. Well, is there anything else? Do you have others?
Most of it's been covered. We did get the grant submitted
Yeah. Question.
Thursday night, so that's all turned in. Now we wait.
Well, we wait and see, but great job getting it done. I know you guys were pressed hard.
We were up against the wall and I'm trying to get this budget stuff ready, so that was tough, but
Thank you.
we got it done. And then, I mean, we're still trying to train in there, so, everything is, a little bit harder when you're trying to, we're trying to teach people how to do this stuff, and so, Kim was at training for a week while me and Cassie were trying to get that grant done, and so we've been working hard. so.
I was up here.
I was like, don't talk to me right now.
Get over there in your corner and sit down. Okay, what do you want me to do?
So we've been pretty busy, but this week I'm hoping to kind of not be as crunched.
Kind of get a little bit of chill time in.
Yep, so, but I mean, it feels like we just constantly scheduling public hearings and that takes time, getting all that stuff in the
We've had a
paper,
lot in the past couple of months.
making sure all that's right. So we're trying to get Kim prepped for doing elections. So won't be long, we're gonna have 2 big elections coming up, so. About June, all that stuff will start.
Do we have someone running against, or we got a couple of people running on, or we got 1 person, 2 people?
Right now, I have 1 for mayor, I have 2 city council packets out. I don't have anything turned in.
When is the,
Time frame.
oh, so you don't even have it for the mayor yet, or the?
I don't
mayor
have
spot?
anything turned in. I
When, yeah,
have,
when's the cutoff deadline?
August,
August something.
the August, is it
August 7th?
7th? It's the day of the August primary election.
So who all picked up for city council packets?
Just you and then Greg Beavers had picked one up.
Can I get a packet for the, for mayor though?
Sure.
Uh-oh, another person throwing their hat in their ring. It's gonna be a dog fight.
Better than giving it to them.
It's all in there. So.
Got nothing to lose.
So then what, we have 3 openings. You need a packet or you haven't decided?
I'm trying to decide.
Okay,
I wasn't sure, was it 2 or 3? But it was 3 and.
there's 3
mayor.
council members every 2 years in the mayor. Like, so every
Yeah.
4 years, it's
Right.
3 council member and every 2 it's the mayor.
Yeah.
So we swap.
Rotate.
So I got 2 years going. Until my, I got,
Oh, yeah, because I came in with you.
so you got 2 more years.
Yeah.
Unless something happens, I get voted in as mayor, I don't know.
There you go.
I got some tests, and once I figure out what happens with the test, decide.
Well, you actually still have quite a bit of time. I just want to make sure everybody knows we have all the stuff ready to give to people, so. We'd appreciate not having to make phone calls to fill the slot. So,
Well, the people have got a lot to look at to vote for this year. And it all depends on, as far as this city, what they feel, and I'm speaking generally, about the tax basis for stores and different things
Right.
like that. And the people have to decide that. They're gonna have to decide 3 council members and a mayor.
And they got the referendum on the marijuana businesses.
not till November though, on that.
I did put it out on Facebook. Did you guys see that? Okay.
Well,
I did.
I don't read Facebook.
I don't.
No,
go
I
on
did. I
Facebook
saw, I
either.
thought you did a nice job, except you got the number wrong. but
Yeah,
other than
see,
that-
I just put it out there, like, you know, there's gonna be positions opening, come to it. Of course, I shut commenting off, because I don't ever want to hear any of that stuff.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't good.
No, there was no comments,
Oh,
so I shut it
that's a
all
shock.
off.
I noticed
That's a
that there was
shocker.
nothing I couldn't like it or.
I
anything, but
turned
I
the
couldn't
comments
share it
off
either.
right when I
Oh.
posted, just like, hey, just telling them there's an election.
Right.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, because like you said, they just talk about it
Yeah.
and then they don't know. So I put it out there clear as day, not this way or that way, just, hey, stuff's coming, pay attention.
Or should at least show up to meetings or something.
Yeah, at least look.
So question, I guess, for Dave too, I guess, but, so them dumpsters that are over here by these, over here by this parking lot
Which
coming
one?
out, that's locked. The library or the city uses them ones?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, I guess they were just for the purpose. I was reading the public library, that you haven't had lock it, people are throwing their stuff in there.
And one of them is ours and one of them is the apartments. The reason we built that enclosure was so we didn't both have dumpsters. And then we didn't want everybody over there to have one of those carts, so we were trying to clean up the area.
Yeah, I got-
Consolidate it.
Just had constant abuse of it, people just rolling up and throwing it. I mean, it'll get dumped
And
and then it's
literally,
full.
I think, I can't remember for
I
sure.
wish you had that
Chelsea, but-
picture, because that was funny.
But there was January, February, and part of March that we got overages every week.
Really?
It got dumped one day and then Dave rolls up and the back, literally from the tailgate to the top of the truck covered with cardboard boxes, somebody dumped in there.
She's a please.
Why don't they break them down to start with? I don't get
Well,
that.
first of all, they weren't our trash.
Right.
They all belong to the
Oh,
dollar
no.
store.
The
Oh,
what
so
store?
you're seeing. whose they were. Lovely.
Huh. She's so please.
The new one or the old one?
The
The
old one.
old one.
Yeah, did they even have a dumpster over there?
They
So-
do.
So
Oh,
we,
my God.
we got to use the recycling facility.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we-
There you go.
Oh my God, they could have just thrown them across the street and they
Right?
came all the way into
The
town.
wind might have picked them up. Anybody
yeah.
been to the new dollar store?
I've heard it's nice. I've
It's
heard
awesome.
Is it nice?
when
Yeah,
People
that's-
been in there, they said it's nice.
It
I've
is.
been in there once.
I felt like I wasn't even in Langford. I was in South Hampton, like in the candy store. It was very nice, a big selection. And here's the thing on that, I read some comments on Langford community page, people complaining, oh, $2 stores. Well, I'll tell you what, it's night and day difference. You go into, I'll go to Sage, I still go to Sage Market. I'll go to all three of them.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know what the problem is because, you know, the new one don't have some of the stuff that the old one has.
and vice versa.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
and
and it's
as
very
far-
clean. I felt comfortable.
As far as the comments on Facebook, we can't control
What a
dollar
business
store wants to
does.
come in.
Right.
It's an allowed use by right. And I hear, well, we should have a restaurant. We should have, I mean, we can't,
Well, then they need to have some money to come up with and have all that.
Get the property and start a restaurant.
I mean, unless we're gonna
I
come
got
up
one for
with,
sale. You wanna
unless we're
have
gonna
one?
come up with our
Come
own
on.
money, we can't really do that either.
Yeah, there
So-
was quite a few comments about the $2 stores, and I was like, you know, we just okay the site plan review. We don't decide who goes where,
Well, you can't.
We could,
so.
yeah, we can't legally tell them when it's an allowed
No.
use that they can't go in.
But you know, I felt like I was in awe when I walked out, like, this is awesome. A lot, I mean, it's night and day difference between both stores, but I still go to both the dollar stores and I go to Sage Market. I still give them my business, so I don't go to Myers and all that stuff very often. Oh, and in 30 days, I heard they're gonna get beer and wine in there, so,
Oh, and Dollar General.
yeah.
Look,
They gotta
One-stop
get
shopping.
cigarettes first. So, does anybody want to adjourn?
I'll make
I make
motion.
motion.
Second adjourn. Call adjourned.
We're adjourned.
3 motions.